Okay, well, here we are. Second video about my progress. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about, but we're going to talk about something. I didn't really make any headway with the three pieces that I've been working on, which are the Fugue from Bach's Lute Suite 997, Lucia de Lammermoor, Opus 9 by Napoleon Coste, and Cordoba, an arrangement of Cordoba by Isaac Albeniz. The arrangement, by the way, is by David Russell. Yeah, I'm not really making headway. I'm just doing my best to keep the dust off. But there are obviously going to be some parts that are going to deteriorate because I haven't been practicing those parts. Most of my time has been spent on my right hand, since I'm not really, I'm playing more. So the left hand is improving. My left hand doesn't feel as chunky or as fat. It's not feeling swollen, I guess you could say. It is improving, not as much. It's not feeling as swollen or as fat or as slow as much. It doesn't feel as light as my right hand, but there is improvement, so that's good. So I'm going to continue to wear this every night and during the day when I'm not practicing, although I have been taking it off during the day here and there just to take it off. I feel like it's not that bad, but it's still useful to have on right now. Oh my goodness, why is this thing still on? Let's see, what else can I talk about? Yeah, so I'm mostly doing my right hand, and I'm using this book for my right hand exercises. Most of them are on page 70 something, if you have the book. A lot of them that I did were on page 77, 78, and a little bit on 79. And I've also been doing something here and there from Pumping Nylon. And I found that those have actually been beneficial. I'm noticing there's less nail noise when I plant my finger onto the string because I've been making that a focus. So I'll play the exercise and then I'll make sure to think about the planting, make sure that the nail isn't making contact with the string, because when the string's vibrating and then your nail makes contact with it, that's when you get the buzz or the click. So I'm being more precise on the plant, so it's getting tucked in there between the skin and the nail, so that I don't have to adjust after I plant. So I'm planting exactly where I need to, and then I'm following through with an attack on the string, and it's good. So that's been cleaner, and I've been noticing that in my playing. It took a while to get there, but I'm noticing it. So that's a good. That's definitely a plus. I've also been practicing my tremolo, and I've been doing this. I've been starting with each individual finger and making that the one. You could also accent it, but I've been actually trying to count each finger as one. I feel that's a more solid approach. So ring is one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then middle finger is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would just rotate. That keeps the tremolo from developing like this galloping and keeps it more even. And I've noticed that's improved as well. So that's good. I'm sort of working out, the best approach, because I learned tremolo at a young age and my teacher taught me how to do it, and I just kind of, did it naturally, and he said, that's good. But looking back, I think there were a lot of things that he could have mentioned to me that could have helped improve the tremolo. So, and I never really learned tremolo. I did learn variations on a Carnival of Venice, and there is a tremolo variation, so I did do that. But I didn't really get a lot of guidance on learning tremolo, so I'm sort of figuring it out. And given this is actually a great opportunity to really work out the tremolo and get it clean. So that's what I've been doing. And so as a result, I've been revisiting. I never learned the whole thing. I've been revisiting this piece, okay, which is a piece by Barrios, and I've been really just working out the first part. Every once in a while, I'll start to run through some of the tremolo section and figure out what the chords are. But there are quite a few stretches, and I don't want to overdo it with my wrist. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, I did want to talk about this. This I did plan. I have here, this was in the spring. I spent some time writing out my mistakes. And anytime I'd make a mistake, I'd stop. I'd describe the mistake, or I'd categorize it. And then I'd write it down. And then once I came up with basically all of the possible categories or descriptions of the mistakes, then I started to check off if I made that same kind of mistake, I'd check it off again. So I'll hold this up so you guys can see it. There you go. So you got muted string at the top, or what does that say? I can't see. Missed string. And then I also labeled right hand, left hand. I'm sure you can see it. I'm not going to point to it. But you'll see there's right hand mistakes, left hand mistakes. And I tallied them up, and you can see very clearly my right hand is the biggest issue. The top three are all right hand. Those are the first mistakes. But top three by tally are, actually, you know what? The top three by tally are also right hand. Missed string, nail snag, and somewhere in the middle it says nail noise. And then the first left hand mistake, which I believe would be the fourth one, top four, I guess you could say, inadvertently fretted note. I'll fix that in post. What does it say? Inaccurately fretted note. Inaccurately fretted note. So that's the left hand. And then the very next day, I believe I did it again on the bottom. And it's very similar to the previous day. And this is something that I encourage all of you guys to do. Figure out what mistakes you're making. And that way you can be more precise, I guess you say, be more direct in the, just the cleaning up. You're focusing on something very specific that's obviously needs a lot of that needs to be addressed. And I think that that will go a long way into making sure your practicing is extremely efficient. So turns out that this is a blessing in disguise, because I've been working a lot on just right hand. Boom, 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 boom. So that's good. I've also noticed my nail, my index nail, I feel like the shape is wrong. I flattened it out, and I believe I should not have flattened it out now. So I think I got to make it more angled. I also want the side to flare out so that I can get more contact. But I'm noticing that my middle finger is great. My thumb is a little bit long. My ring finger is pretty good, but I think I can work on that one. But most of the issues come from my index finger. Anyone that's watched the streams over the last couple months will know that, because especially the first 2-3 months that I started streaming, I just kept complaining about my index finger. But honestly, that's really about it. I don't really know what else I can talk about. I did make my Lagrima. If anyone has not seen this video, I posted it yesterday. It's a performance of Lagrima by Francisco Tárrega. And I was going to make it nice and fancy, but then I realized, you know what, let's just put it out. Don't worry about it. I want to be efficient with my time. I mentioned all this in the video. And then I play through it. It's literally one shot, one take. There's no edits. I sort of worked on it, but, not as much as I could have. But I did want to have something for you guys to watch and just enjoy. So if you guys haven't checked that out, you should look into that. Just go to my YouTube channel and you'll see it. But other than that, I'm not really sure what else I should talk about. I've been getting a little frustrated with this one. This is Lucia de la Marmor. And I think it's because it's the classical, I strongly believe it's the classical time period that I struggle with the most, because guitar music in that time period, written in that time period, or even emulating that time period, is very difficult for me to play. And I think it's because you really need to have pristine technique. Like, your left hand has to be right on. It's got to be good. It's got to be solid. You really have to have good control of your hands in order to play it right. And I don't feel I have complete control of my hands. So I've found classical time period music is extremely difficult for me. So I've been getting really frustrated. It's deteriorating. This piece in particular, Lucia, it's deteriorating very, very quickly. And it's not because it's not intuitive on the guitar. One of my viewers mentioned that. Is it because it's not intuitive? No, it was written by a guitarist. The shapes are clearly guitar shapes, or it was arranged for the guitar by a guitarist. So it's clearly has the shapes of your standard guitar shapes. But for whatever reason, I'm really struggling with it. More so, I would say, than the Cordoba and the fugue. So that's where I am with that one. Cordoba is doing great. Obviously, that's starting to deteriorate too. The fugue, you know what? I listened to. Let me pull it up. I'm not going to play it, obviously, but here it is, right here. It's a recording of a lute harpsichord. I can't even pronounce the guy's name. Gergely Sarkozy. I'll put it in the video here. And it's an album called Bach. What is the album? It's just called Bach, and then the subtitle, it has the titles of some of the pieces. But he performs the lute suite in E minor, BWV 996, a couple other stuff, a couple selections, and then he performs the lute suite BWV 997. Now that's the one I've been working on. And first of all, the lute harpsichord sounds amazing. You guys should listen to this, not on your phone. Put it on a Bluetooth speaker, or if you have a nice setup at home, listen to it on large speakers, because it sounds really very, very big, very, very just massive sound, deep basses, and it sounds so good. But I was listening to the fugue, and this recording, he plays it kind of slow. It's almost 11 minutes. It's 10 minutes, 58 seconds. And I was listening to it, and I was like, man, this sounds really good. He takes his time with it, and he makes it very clear where the phrases are, where the motifs are. And man, I look up to that performance, and I'm going to definitely steal some of the things that he does. Not all of them, because I'm already hearing it in my way, because I've been practicing it for so long. But this one is my favorite. Now, granted, I take it back. It's not my favorite. It's my favorite right now because it's really the only one I've listened to critically. What I need to do is I need to listen to other performances of this fugue, but guitar performances, and because I want to see what other obviously performers are doing with it. But this one in particular, it really just blew my mind. It sounds amazing. So I encourage all of you guys to listen to that. Speaking of listening, critical listening, I got this piece of advice from a wonderful guitarist named Annabelle Montesinos. She's got a YouTube channel as well. And it was an interview that she did, I think, in Spain or something. And I took it to heart. So basically what she said was, when you're learning a piece, listen to the performances of that piece, get a feel for it, understand it, see what it's all about, and then sit down and learn it. Don't listen to any more performances. Spend the time you need to figure it out, mark the phrases, do what you got to do, make your interpretive decisions, and do all those things. And then once it's solid, you've gotten a grasp on it, you can perform it, or you can play through it. Obviously, it'll still be dirty, right? It's not performance ready. Then start listening to these other performances again and compare what you're doing to what they're doing. And that's basically the process. When you do it that way, you're allowing yourself the opportunity to put your own spin on it, to play it the way you hear it. And you have your own interpretation, is what I'm trying to say. If you're constantly listening to one or two performances of it and you're like, You're trying to understand it, you're trying to get it, but you're obviously always listening to it. The problem with that is you are simply emulating someone else's take on it. And that's what you don't want. You need to have your own voice. So that's what I tell all my students now. Get an idea of what it sounds like. Stop listening. Work on it. Make it almost performable, where everything, the interpretive decisions have already been made. And then go back and listen and then see what's different and what's not. And, that, again, I think I'm just saying the same thing twice. That will allow you to have your own voice, and you're starting to think critically on your own and not just emulating, not just copying, right? When you're working on it on your own, you're making those decisions. So you're practicing your theory, you're practicing, you're practicing your critical listening, your phrasing, where are the phrases, and then you're starting to get some practice in the analysis of the piece. Oh, where's the motif? Oh, there's a little call response here. Oh, this is really neat. All the little compositional tools that are being used or employed, you're starting to pick up on that too. And all of that is really useful in deciding how you're going to play the piece. Because I complained a couple of times on the fugue, like, I don't get this part. I'm playing all the notes, but it doesn't make sense to me. And then I started to notice, the motif is right there in the bass. Oh, it's right here again. Oh, it's like it's happening 4 times in a row. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to play it different because I hear the motif. So now I'm going to make sure the phrases are ending or beginning here and not just randomly playing the notes. So that's very, very important to do. I think I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? I was talking about the having your own interpretation, and then honestly, I don't know. That happens from time to time. I get into a tangent and then I don't know where it came from. But I think I might leave it at that. So all in all, this is getting better. Okay, I'm taking it easy. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about my streaming. I need, obviously, streaming my practicing is never going to be as effective as not streaming my practices. That I was aware from the get-go. But I'm noticing it's beginning to become a bit of an issue where, like, okay, I'm spending 4 hours practicing, but things aren't improving as I like as quickly as I'd like them to. And obviously part of the problem is I'm engaging with the viewers, right? But it's important that I do. So I think I need to have a clear goal. So what is my goal? Is it to improve? Is it to just hang out? Can a goal be a little bit of both? And I kind of got to get that etched in stone, so I don't feel a little bit of the frustration that I'm currently feeling. Because my goal is to have a concert. It really is to have a concert. But at this rate, it's not going to happen. I was hoping the fall. Technically, we're in fall now. Today's the first day of fall, I think, or maybe it was yesterday. And in 3 months, it's going to be winter. So I pushed it back to winter. And I don't think 3 months is enough time, given the rate of progression, which means, is it going to be spring? And then am I just going to keep pushing it back? So I have to figure out a new approach, or I gotta not to the actual stream itself, but a new approach to how I go about with my scheduling, my streaming schedule. So should I do like one day where I'm not streaming, but I'm still practicing? Or maybe when I'm streaming, do 30 minutes, like I'm just not engaging with the chat, right? And then like 5 minutes, okay, let's see what everyone's saying. Or some variation of that. Or do I practice more, but I practice off stream, but I still do the 4 hours? Like, do I even have the time for that? But I got to figure something out, because if I continue to do what I'm doing, I believe the concert's not going to be pushed back. The concert will be pushed back till spring, And then who knows, maybe even till summer. By spring, it'll already be a year since I started streaming, you know? So, so that's where I am with that. And I'll have to figure that out. I'll brainstorm and come up with something. But overall, okay, things are on the up and up. You know, my channel's been monetized. People are throwing in super chats. That's been a blast. You know, I'm just practicing, and then someone throws in $5. Hey, you know, that's awesome. Or they gift a subscription, and that feels really, really great. I mean, and that's a testament to my engagement with the viewers. So that's the thing. So that's where I start to get torn. Like, if I'm not engaging with the viewers, like, that stuff is not going to be as common at all, you know? But, you know, I want to get to know the viewers, and, I know things here and there about all of them. I ask them how they're doing. But then again, that cuts into my practice time. So I guess what you're seeing right now is what my brain is thinking about. I'm just verbalizing it to all of you so you can see it. But yeah, the super chats are nice. The memberships are going up. We're at 13 now, lucky number 13. That's great. And I'm getting Patreon subscriptions, which is great. I have a set goal of $300 a month from my Patreon. You guys can all see that. You can hide it on Patreon. There's a box you could check, whatever, where you can hide that. I just leave it out in the open. You know, it's no big deal. So I'm at $250. So all I need is $50. And then I've reached my goal. And my goal is to get there by the end of the year. So we have plenty of time to get there. But that's obviously a huge success. The membership's huge success. And overall, things are looking good. I think since I've been working on this one, again, Un Sueño, this will probably be my next big piece that I start to focus on. But yeah, I got to change my approach to the stream or the stream schedule. I got to set my goals so that I'm not getting frustrated by not reaching them. Because part of the reason is, why am I frustrated? I'm a little lost in the frustration. Where is it coming from, right? Because the goals are kind of wishy-washy. So yeah. But overall, we're definitely making some progress. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Overall, we're making progress.